Mystic LM. Nothing else can be heard around but the dazzling flashes of cameras and loud sounds of background music, even though crowds are gazing down a towering catwalk runway while waiting for something appear before them, which seems pleasing to the naked eye. All was done their turn, and I just waited 30 seconds for my routine entry, which is always the last one. Then the after party activity was restricted to the public. That's why it's just us and the core team who are allowed. And when I was taken home to where I stayed, I had a call from Girl 1. I listened to the voice recording machine. Girl 1 said, "Angel, why did you go home early? Have you forgotten that a friend of Girl 2 is picking us up? 7 of us were invited to her friend's birthday party tonight, weren't we? Never mind, we will just pick you up at your place in minutes." What? In minutes? I'm super drained and sleepy. I don't want to go. But they're coming in minutes. But that cannot be a reason to back out of a deal. And besides, the celebrant is a tycoon. And Girl 2 will be ruined because it's her friend. To make the story short, we arrived at the famous private village in the area. We're mostly inhabited by well-known and influential figures. I was amazed by ambience of the surroundings. And the wide gate opened. But why is my heart pounding so hard? We were invited to do a mini fashion show, and it's exclusive just for the birthday celebrant and distinguished visitors. And the celebrant reached out to Girl 2, that's why we were there. Then each of us were introduced to the guest, which obviously of high status in life, and to a person in a bathrobe by the poolside who had just done swimming. A few moments later, we started changing clothes, and the piano starts playing. The singer they also invited began to sing. Then each of us also did our part. We walked around the poolside 3 times back and forth to a room with direct access to the pool area to change 3 sets of clothes that carried by Girl 3. My eyes noticed the murmur of the present guest. Later on, Girl 2 was summoned the man in the bathrobe earlier and whispered something. When shows ended and the man in suits opened few bottles of champagne and filled the guest glasses, also gave to all of my colleagues, except me. Then I was approached by a man who was wearing a bathrobe earlier and is now wearing a suit. He gave me a drink to share a toast with him. He said, "Cheers," while biting his lower lip, which suddenly made me anxious. Few minutes later, I felt dizzy and lost my strength. He hugged me and lifted me up. I turned to my colleagues who were busy chatting. I was laid down on the fluffy king-size bed. I want to get up, but I don't have the strength. My vision is spinning, and I feel extremely sleepy. But my consciousness is awake. I wondered why. Because I'm not drunk from just half a glass. I just pretended to sleep since the guy is not around.